Law enforcement in Hungary is split among the Police and Border Guards, and the Customs and Excise Authority. Since 2006, the police has been subject to the Ministry of Justice. When the Ministry of Interior was restructured to deal with municipalities and regional development, due to Hungary's accession to the Schengen Treaty, the Police and Border Guards were merged into a single national corps, with the Border Guards becoming police officers. This merger took place in January 2008. The Customs and Excise Authority remained to be subject to the Ministry of Finance. The National Police Headquarters is located in Budapest, 13th District. It is nicknamed as Police Palace. In February 2007, the headquarters was the target of small arms fire, with multiple bullet holes being found in the building, but there were no injuries. Rendőrség. The Hungarian police is the main and largest state law enforcement agency in Hungary. It carries nearly all general police duties such as criminal investigation, patrol activity, traffic policing, border control. It is led by the National Police Commissioner under the control of the Minister of the Interior. The body is divided into county police departments, which are also divided into regional and town police departments. The National Police also have child agencies with nationwide jurisdiction, such as the police force often mocked as the Hungarian FBI Nemzeti Nyomozó Iroda, a civilian police force specialized in investigating serious crimes. The Gendarmerie Light, militarized Kezeti Rendőrség, mainly dealing with riots and often enforcing local police forces. Terrorelőreítési Központ. The Counter-Terrorism Center is a special police force with nationwide jurisdiction under the direct control of the Minister of the Interior of Hungary, founded by Prime Minister Viktor Orbán in 2011. It mainly deals with counter-terrorist activities. The majority of the police officers serving in the body are trained as SWAT officers to fight against armed criminals. They interfere when necessary in any case if asked for by the national police or other authorities. Besides, the Counter-Terrorism Center is also responsible for the protection of the Hungarian Prime Minister, Hungarian President and other high-ranking government and state officials, and the security of several government buildings, and also serves as a secret service-like organization collecting and analyzing information about potentially dangerous groups and persons. It is often criticized by the political opposition as the private army of the Prime Minister, since its first and current director, Police Brigadier General János Sajdu, was earlier the personal bodyguard of Prime Minister Viktor Orbán after retiring from his police career. Nevertheless, it is a fact that the officers employed and the functions carried out by the service existed earlier mainly within the frameworks of the National Police under the name of Terrorelőreítési. They were only centralized into an autonomous police force under the direct control of the Ministry of the Interior, not causing essential changes in the structure and operation of Hungarian law enforcement. Only the organizational frameworks changed to some extent. Nemzeti Védelmi Szolgálat. The National Protective Service is a special police force under the direct control of the Minister of the Interior, with nationwide jurisdiction, mainly dealing with anti-corruption activities within the government sphere. The service can collect information about any government officials, including the private life for law enforcement offices in Hungary, even testing the reliability by making a false attempt to bribe them. Although the force is also often criticized by the media of the political opposition as resembling the secret police services of the era of the communistic dictatorship, it should be mentioned that similar anti-corruption organizations exist in nearly all member states of the European Union, and its preceding agency, the Rendőrség Védelmi Szolgálata, had nearly the same jurisdiction over the uniformed officers employed by the government. Its jurisdiction was only extended to the civilian officials employed by ministries and other government organs, and considering the high rates of corruption in Hungary, the operation of the service seems to be necessary. Since the service was established, the corruption within the public sphere in Hungary, including law enforcement agencies, decreased to some extent. Up to now it has not been proven that the National Protective Service would have abused its powers granted by law in any way. The National Protection Service has established its own code of conduct and regulations concerning the declaration of property that apply to the police also apply to the National Protective Service. The National Security Service is one of the civilian secret services of Hungary under the direct control of the Minister of the Interior. It is a background organization that provides the technical equipment to collect information about or to intercept someone afforded by the police, a court judge, the public prosecutor's office or other authorities. The service rather fights against organized crime than dealing with counter-espionage nowadays, and its jurisdictions are strictly regulated by law. The Constitution Protection Agency is the main internal civilian secret service of Hungary under the control of the Minister of the Interior. Although originally it is a domestic intelligence and counter-intelligence agency, since espionage activity is rare in Hungary and in the region. As a law enforcement agency, it rather focuses on organized crime and potentially dangerous, political extremist persons and groups, strongly cooperating with the police and other law enforcement agencies. The officers of the agency are allowed to carry firearms, but can use it only for self-defense or for the defense of others, and can perform arrests or other police measures only in the presence of uniformed police officers. Their activity is in essence limited to the collection of information. Municipal police services. In Hungary there are also municipal, local police forces with very limited jurisdictions. Its officers are employed by the local government, but their jurisdiction and activities are defined and controlled by the Minister of the Interior and the local state police forces, strictly cooperating with them. The most widespread form of local police organizations is the Közterületfelügyelet, which can be found in the capital and larger towns in the country. Public space supervision officers usually wear blue uniforms similar to that of the national police, and by law they are qualified as police officers and in principle they can perform arrests and other police measures. But practically they are unarmed, and their activity is usually limited to crime prevention and finding the perpetrators of minor offenses. If they recognize some serious crime, they are to call the national police. According to the new regulation of 2013, local governments in Hungary can also establish so-called önkormányzati with a more extended jurisdiction than public space supervision authorities, and potentially the police officers of such services can be armed, but can wear and use the firearms only under very strict regulations. Many local government also employs so-called mazország in order to defend rural areas and in fields. Local government rural police officers are usually armed with shotguns as qualified hunters, but can use the firearms only for self-defense and if they recognize any serious crimes are to call the national police, but can levy fines and impede perpetrators until the arrival of the national police. Historical secret and other police organizations. Alam Vedelmi Ostali, Alam Vedelmi Hatosij, Cease and Orsag.